I was making faces.
It's all good.
I'm like a little tangled in this. There we go.
A little tangled.
Just a little see, I'm still a little tangled.
There we go. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're live.
Hello there, 2Med2.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Michael. Appreciate it. Appreciate the support.
Yeah. Hello. Hello there.
Hello there.
We just finished watching Revenge of the Sith, so.
Yeah, it was kind of a therapeutic post-Clone Wars event, which was awesome. Got to do some comparing and contrasting, like, oh, that's the part where, we saw Obi-Wan talking to Ahsoka again. Stuff. It was a really cool experience.
It was super cool. We enjoyed it. I feel like I'm all tangled up in all the ways that I don't want to be. Oh, look, it's Gabe. Hi, Gabe. I knew he was gonna pop on.
Whoa. So, welcome to Pizza and Parsecs' first live stream ever. This is exciting. So, if this is your first time joining us, we are a geek podcast covering things from the alleys of Gotham to Wizarding Worlds to galaxies far, far away. And I kind of want to kick things off talking about what have we been up to recently? Because I think we've had a lot going on within the last week,
We have had a lot going on. Like, I need a haircut desperately, and I can't get my hair to cooperate with me. It's not cooperating.
So last week we were a guest on the Galactic Podcast.
Yes, we were.
And cool. That was awesome. That was so much fun. We got to hang out with Lauren and Andrea and just had a blast geeking out about Star Wars. We've been big fans of them for a while now. And I know when I told you, you were super fired up.
I was beside myself. Quite literally. Happy dancing and everything.
You were. And then we also had some other really exciting news as well. We made a couple of lists, We made a podcast listener review from the Roku Depot. And that was really, really cool because you had like these huge podcasts like Talking Bay 94 on there, Brews and Blasters. It was that really got me fired up. And I was super excited about that. And then Maggie was good enough to hook us up with being on the top 10 list of Star Wars podcasts to listen on May the 4th.
Yes.
And then hooked us up with a really dope GIF about it.
Yes. It was really cool. I feel like there we go.
Do you want to scoot over?
Just a little bit. There we go.
Okay. There you go.
There we go.
Hey, David. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Hi, David.
It looks like we've got David. You got your brother on here, Gabe.
Yep. Hi, Gabe.
And we got Michael, we were on his show earlier this week.
Yes.
On 2Med2. Highly recommend y'all go check him out. He puts on a great show. And he had something quite exciting in store for us when we got on for May the 4th.
I'm still not ready.
Still not recovered?
Nope. Still geeking out, still telling everybody, even if they don't know who he is. I tell everybody.
Yeah, so when we got onto Michael's show, we chatted him up for a little bit, and then he brought on a special guest as a surprise. And he breaks up this guy. He's like, "Hey, I'm Ross Sandbridge, and I was the body double for Snoke and a Wookiee in Solo." And you're just like,
yes, I think my face hurt for like several hours after, because I was smiling so hard.
It was a surreal experience to actually get to meet him and talk to him and hear some of the stories that he had.
Yes.
It was so cool. And I couldn't think of any questions to ask him. He's like, "What questions do you have for me?" I know.
I was too starstruck. Hi, Charles.
Hey, Charles. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So that was super, super cool. Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Adam also is joining us. Welcome. Thank you guys so much. Sorry we couldn't get YouTube to work, but hopefully we'll be able to get that working and up and running next time.
Yes.
So yeah, then that was awesome. We got to talk with Farboy for a bit as well.
I know, he literally tipped his hat and I melted a little bit.
You have like a fangirl type crush on him, I think.
Just a little bit.
Just like,
he was so sweet. He tipped it, he tips his hat. You guys are famous. Yes, we are, Gabe. Thanks, Gabe. He's in the chat. He'll tip his hat, and he literally tipped his hat, and I melted. My heart melted a little bit.
Real Farboy is an awesome, just general steward of this Star Wars podcast community.
Yes.
What I love is that he makes his own GIFs. Basically.
That. I went through his Twitter and watched as many as he had on there.
Dude's charming.
It's so fun.
Love that man. He's awesome. So that was an absolute blast. And then right before that, so earlier on May the 4th, we had an awesome time watching the Clone Wars season finale. And that was just an emotional roller coaster.
Very much so.
And then we had a 3-hour session after I got off work, just completely geeking out about it on our podcast. And I pulled out all stops to try to get that edited and pushed out the next day. And that was a grueling process.
I was so shocked the next morning because you're very much a early bird and I am a night owl. Okay. Let's just put that out there really quick. I'll stay up to like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. You get up at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
I do.
And I get a text the next morning saying, "Hey, I'm almost done. Can you check iTunes to see if it's up in like an hour or so?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And you're like, "Okay, can you check iTunes?" And I checked iTunes because I do iTunes music and podcasting. And it was there. And I was like, what? What? That thing was 3.5 hours.
It was awesome. And we have a couple other podcasts in here, but like with our editing process, like you sometimes have those sessions where everybody's just on and you don't really have to do a whole lot of editing to it. And that's what I felt like this one was. Like we had like some of the best dialogue that I think we've had. First of all,
I took notes.
Yes, you did. You did take notes.
I don't take notes. I just speak. Profoundly.
You usually lean on me for the note taking, and then you jump in and have all the profound comments and all the funnies, and you steal the show every single time.
I don't steal the show.
You do, though.
In the comment section, do I steal the show? Say no. Stop. I'm waiting for it all to pop up.
But really quick, I don't know if everybody in the chat has seen the Clone Wars season finale or anything, but real quick, Liv, what was your rundown on what you thought of this final arc?
Do I have to do spoiler free?
Yeah. Because I don't know.
Okay, if you haven't seen it, what planet are you on?
Well, we don't know.
Judgment.
We don't know if your brother has seen it.
I know he hasn't. I know for a fact Gabe hasn't. Sorry, Gabe. It was the best way to end. And, I said this in our podcast. It was the best way to end this entire series, just making it a parallel to Revenge of the Sith. I've been thinking of Return of the Jedi a lot recently. I don't know why. I just have. Revenge of the Sith. There goes our last light.
We just had lights go out. That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, it was the best way to end a series. It was emotional. It was powerful. It was conclusive. All the good things.
It was a beautiful way to end this, this roller coaster of a final arc.
Yeah.
It was so emotional and poignant and had such a profound way to close things out.
Yeah.
And I must have started tearing up 11 times when we were recording.
I only teared up once. Just one time.
Because I have a heart.
I don't. Do we want to turn the lamp on? Or are we good?
Yeah, we should. Hey, there we go.
Hey!
A little more orange.
Let there be light.
Little bit of a bumpy start to our live streaming, but
it happens.
It happens.
Just, our lights just died. It's fine.
We'll do better next time. We swear.
I mean, this one's been charging for a minute. We could probably put it in if you wanted to.
If they take 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
No. But it was awesome. And then today we actually went back and watched Revenge of the Sith after watching the Mandalorian documentary.
Right. Pure my request.
Yes.
I wanted to watch it. I've been dying to watch Revenge of the Sith for, I think, almost a month and a half. Since season 7, since I started season 7. Just because I was really excited to see how, shout out the merch. I was really excited to see how it all came together because I knew my appreciation would change for the third movie. And it did. It really did. But I waited. I patiently waited. There were so many times I was sitting on Disney Plus and I was like, I can just watch it now. But I'm on your Disney Plus, so you would have seen that I watched it without you.
And I would have felt so betrayed.
I know.
You
were the chosen one. I would have gotten a text. You were the chosen one. Because I was.
You were.
Yeah. Do you like that funny? That was a good funny.
Good.
I don't steal the show.
Solid joke, babe. RFB.
Hi.
Hey, Anthony. Welcome.
We were just talking about you in a good way.
As
always.
Yeah, I would have felt a little heartbroken if you had watched that without me.
And so I waited.
That was good of you. I appreciated that.
Yeah.
That's how I know this is something that's going to work out long term.
Oh yeah.
Because you'll wait to watch Star Wars with me.
I will always wait to watch Star Wars with you.
Except Clone Wars, the Clone Wars season finale. We kind of did our own thing there.
You didn't wait for me for any of the episodes, so it's okay.
Because I take copious notes on everything.
And you wake up at the time I go to bed.
This is true.
It's okay. I gave him permission. Don't worry.
Real quick, anybody in the chat, if you have any questions for us, please let us know. We'd love to answer them. We got some stuff planned to talk about, we want to talk about the Mandalorian documentary, some recent Star Wars news and things like that. But mostly we want to just engage and chat with you guys. So just let us know in the chat if you guys have any questions. And thank you guys so much for joining us. Really appreciate your support.
Yeah, super, super stoked to we were on To Me Too.
Yep.
So, and that was the first time that we actually showed what we looked like. But this is first time Pizza and Parsecs showing Pizza and Parsecs. This is what we look like. I'm short. I have longer hair. I need a haircut. It's okay. Ignore it.
We need to turn the video off for you so you don't just keep going
oh, I went the wrong way. It's okay. I'm a girl. I'm supposed to fix my hair 600 times.
Yeah, I do it too,
It's okay. I'll live. How often will y'all go live? Asked by Gabe.
Great question, Gabe.
We don't know.
We are not entirely sure yet.
That comment made me really upset for a second.
It's fine. But, I think we'd like to try to do it as often as possible.
Yeah.
Like maybe like weekly, maybe.
Yeah. Right now it's a lot easier to do things during the weekday because my job is closed due to COVID. And I work in the evenings as a dance teacher. So we would have to eventually change the schedule up a little bit from Wednesdays to something else when I start working again.
COVID-19's made it a lot easier to coordinate our schedules.
Yeah. I have none.
This is true.
I work on Thursday. I go to work on Thursdays.
So basically it won't be on Thursdays is what we're trying to say.
Not Thursdays. But hopefully frequently. We'd like to do this often. It's fun. It's fun getting a chance to not just record and then put it out there, but actually like talk to you guys directly. And when you guys ask questions, we can answer them right away and not accidentally miss them.
And we have such a blast when we actually get to join these other live streams like 2Men2 and Certain Point of View and Star Wars Friends, all these great shows. And we want to be part of that community that helps engage with the community in a positive way because, pushing out that positivity is something that's important to us. And
absolutely,
this community has already given us so much. Even though we're not even like a dedicated Star Wars podcast, like y'all accepted us as one of your own. Yeah. And we so appreciate that. Like this community is where we find our home.
Yeah, it's been really cool just connecting with a lot of Star Wars podcasts and also feeling the freedom to talk about other nerdy things. Like we said earlier, we were on the top 10 podcasts to listen to on May the 4th. Again, thank you, Maggie. That was such a cool surprise to like discover on Twitter Monday. But she even put in there like, they're not a solely Star Wars podcast, but we still were on the list. Like it's really cool to be able to talk about all the fun things under the nerd spectrum, except for the new Batman, because I have opinions about the new Batman.
You don't like Robert Pattinson?
I don't. But I didn't like Ben Affleck, and then he did an okay job, so it's fine.
See, I don't have the reservations as with Robert Pattinson as much as you do.
I just saw him butcher Twilight.
Hey, he was also an HP.
He was, and he did a great job as Cedric Diggory for one movie. Then he dies.
Everybody's dead.
Anna cries.
And Anna cries. So we got another question here real quick, and then I want to pull another question that we got that we failed to mention on our last podcast here. But Anthony, Rural Farm Boy, shout out. Tip my hat.
Not wearing it.
It's my imaginary hat.
Oh, okay.
Where's your sense of imagination?
Anakin killed it.
Anakin killed it.
With the younglings.
In the Jedi Temple.
And Liv cried.
So Anthony asks us, what are our favorite droids? Since you are drinking right now, I will start. And so I know it's not the same droid, but in the series finale of Clone Wars, we got CH-33P, and it just sounded so much like Chopper in Rebels. This spunky little droid with so much attitude, so much personality, and that's just very fresh in my mind. So I'm going to go with Chopper. He's one of my favorites. I also, of course, love the classics. I mean, we were just talking about R2-D2, and he's the only one that has like a memory of this entire saga.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think we would be remiss in not mentioning R2-D2 and his significance and just wow. Dude's seen a lot, or dudette, we don't know.
Yeah. I like C-3PO.
3PO?
I've always loved 3PO. I think he's got the perfect witty humor right at the right moment, and also is really logical, even from an annoying standpoint. Like 3PO is definitely probably my favorite droid.
Absolutely. He bring like him and R2 together have like this comedic relief throughout the entire saga for me.
Yeah.
Like they have like this really clever banter back and forth, and which is kind of remarkable with what Star Wars gave us, back in the 70s, these two droids, and they had that banter, and one of them didn't speak English.
Right.
And we still managed to have a connection with this power couple of a droid, like this droid power couple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I'll say with regards to my favorite droids. And I guess special shout out to IG-11 too. IG-11 was pretty cool.
Hey, he's pretty cool.
I guess.
He's not 3PO. Anthony agrees with me, so.
Yes, Charles, absolutely. It's been a blessing the way we've been accepted in this community, much like you. So thank you for saying that, and just wow. Oh, David, you got a T-shirt design with Chopper? I'll have to check that out. Have you posted anything up on Twitter yet? Hey!
Hello!
Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
So while you answering that, in our last podcast, we had polled all of you to hit us up with some questions so that we could answer them live on the show, and went through all of them, got a ton of great responses. Thank you all so much for the replies. It made for some really fun, engaging discussion between the two of us. And we had one that I completely missed in our email. And this was a huge miss on my part. We had Chris from Star Wars Friend Show hit us up on email and say, "Hey, friends, since you have a unique dynamic of being a couple that hosts a podcast together, I'm curious if you've ever thought about who is the hero and the villain in the relationship."
I said I was the villain, but you disagreed with me.
I think so. I don't know if you're like a full villain. Like, I'm gonna put you in like a Ventress type category.
Okay. I mean, Ventress is like your favorite, so I'll take it. That's fine.
Exactly.
I'll totally take it.
Yeah. I love Ventress much like I love you.
Aw.
So I would call you a Ventress. I would not say I am a Quinlan Voss though, sadly.
Okay.
So I guess I would also kind of consider myself more the hero since I have more heart than you do.
I mean, okay. Yeah. No, I definitely think you would be the hero. If it was a 1-and-1, like one person would be a villain, one person would be a hero, I definitely would put you in the hero category, which would make me, by process of elimination, the villain.
I don't really consider you to be a villain, which is why I put you in that Ventress category.
I'll take it.
If we're, only Sith deal in absolutes. I think we can both be heroes in this, right?
Can I be Mace Windu then?
If you want to.
I want to.
I mean, I guess. Citizen.
Oh. Ow. Thanks, Anthony.
Anthony says Miss Liv's never a villain. Come on, Dave.
I'm apparently a villain because I always steal the jokes.
I don't think you're a villain for that at all.
I think that makes me a villain.
I think you just see opportunity.
And I snatch it.
And then you snatch it right up.
Snatch it.
Snatch it.
Snatch it.
So following up on that question, he also asked, if so, what franchise would you pick and who would each of you be?
Okay. I want to be Catwoman.
You want to be Catwoman?
Yes.
See, that's interesting because she's kind of like a Ventress of Gotham.
Exactly. Catwoman.
And if we're sticking in the Batman universe, then I would probably put myself as Nightwing. I think
that works.
I love me some Nightwing. I've been working for the past like 2 years on building out a cosplay for Nightwing.
You have. I remember that was the first cosplay costume you showed me.
It was my work. It was my work in progress, and then I was like, I'm gonna go for getting in the mercs, and I fully committed to building out my Mando kit.
Yes, which is almost done.
It is. I need to finish painting it up, and I'm really hoping Dragon Con in Atlanta does not get canceled this year, because I would love to actually go and sport that. And we have a 501st guy in here too, Anthony. Shout out to Anthony.
Yeah.
I'm sure Anthony knows all about mercs.
I know what I'm going to cosplay as.
What are you going to cosplay as? Oh,
as a podcaster for Pizza and Parsecs.
What's that?
I have another one underneath here, but I was chilly, so I put my hoodie on that you bought me. I got chilly.
Yeah, so this is also one of the other reasons that we wanted to start doing this is we wanted to start letting y'all know that we got merch.
We have merch.
We got merch.
And Lauren, don't worry, I will be definitely going again as a Star Wars character. I went as a Ravenclaw version of Hermione this past year.
We have a really funny picture of that where so we have this picture where I was Green Arrow and she was Hermione. And we switched weapons.
I love that picture so much.
And I'm sitting there looking confused at the wand, and she's like holding the bow all awkwardly.
I should have held it like the wrong way, but it's okay. But yeah, I'll probably do that again, a little bit more in depth, because our friend is going to go as Lucius Malfoy. So I have to one-up him somehow.
Our powers combined, I think we could do that.
Yeah.
So closing out Chris's question here. Thank you, Chris, so much for the question. Sorry we didn't make it into the podcast. That was my fault. It got lost in the inbox. My bad. My profuse apologies, sir.
But look, you're our first official question on our live, so it makes up for it. And if you guys have any more questions, feel free to type it on in. We'll answer it. I'm like looking over at it constantly because it's really fun to like check it out over here and chat with you here. This is fun. I enjoy this.
Lauren says nothing wrong with being a little Sith. A little bit of Alexis.
A little bit of Alexis. I've been singing that for like the last 3 days. I don't know. It all started when we podcast on Monday. All of a sudden now it's like
when I dropped a little bit of Alexis in there.
I lost it. Been singing a little bit of Alexis for like all week. It's been great. A little bit drunk when I drive my car. A little bit single, even when I'm not. Huge Schitt's Creek over here, fans.
We love Schitt's Creek.
Yeah, I got you hooked on that. Except the final season. When it comes on Netflix, I'm going to binge it, and then we sad because it's over.
But then we can watch the whole thing over again.
That's going to be glorious. It's one of those shows that I will watch and watch and watch. I've already watched it 3 times.
There's so much to Schitt's Creek, too. You know, it's remarkable that a comedy show like that has so much depth to it where you can rewatch it and keep on picking up on other things.
Yes.
Or like jokes that may have fallen flat for you the first time or that you completely missed.
Yeah. I also feel that way about The Office.
I do not.
It's okay.
I've been trying to get into The Office for Liv. I feel like she loves The Office like nobody's business, and I have never really given The Office a fair shot. Frankly, the little bit that I've seen of it, it just didn't really seem like a thing for that I would enjoy. But in order to make this future marriage, our union work, I felt like I owed it to you to give it a shot.
I appreciate that. I did the same with Clone Wars. I was hesitant about Clone Wars, and now I'm obsessed, so it's fine. Gabe asked, when can we paint the lightsaber? We owe him a day to paint that lightsaber.
We do.
That was Christmas. Gabe, for those, who are just now hopping on, Gabe is my little brother in the chat. Shout out, Gabe. Hello. How you doing? He's so awesome. And for Christmas, you 3D printed a lightsaber from the newest Star Wars video game.
Yep. And then made a cast out of it, out of silicone. And then, made a resin cast out of it and gave it to him.
Yeah. And we made this little note that said, like,
welcome to the Jedi Order.
Yeah, basically, I like drew the little like Jedi Order symbol and wrote him a note saying, the process to becoming a Jedi, you have to build your own lightsaber. So he's going to come over and decorate and build his lightsaber up. So I'm excited. And so soon we'll actually talk about this as soon as it's over and figure it out. I don't see why it can't be soon.
Yeah,
we're all just here.
Right. So let's try this. Hey!
Whoa, it works! How do you feel about dessert pizza? It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
So with dessert pizza, what is dessert pizza for you? Like, what does that look like?
It is a cinnamon roll pizza with the drizzle on top. I can't eat chocolate. It makes me throw up. So I don't do the chocolate chip pizzas.
You're like almost allergic to it.
Yeah. I say I'm allergic to it because it gives me such an awful, awful, awful reaction in my gut. Like chemically, it just doesn't sit right. So I love dessert pizza. I'll eat dessert pizza all the time. I have a sweet tooth, and yes, that is all.
I'm not a big dessert guy.
No, you're not a big sweets guy. I almost brought my gummy bears up here, but then I figured it would probably be rude to eat them on camera. I have gummy bears downstairs. They're sour gummy bears that stay sour.
Nice.
I love them. I've already eaten like the whole first bag that I bought.
Next up, we got RFB. What's your favorite helmet in Star Wars Galaxy?
For me, it is the Ahsoka clones helmet. Spoiler alert.
So that helmet is absolutely dope. That's kind of what inspired this thing that I got going on here with the...
There you go.
Yeah.
You almost saw.
I'm good. Our siege variant, if you will.
Yeah.
So I love that design, love the colors. I mean, first of all, my heart in that scene. Whew. But if I had to go with anything, I thought about this a little bit more from the last time that we had this question. It's not like a canon helmet or anything, but there's a Mandalorian helmet called the Stalker helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm building with my kit. So it's the Stalker Mandalorian helmet. And I just think it looks like the coolest thing. And you see something that kind of looks similar to it from the Mandalorians, but it's not exactly there.
Right.
But I probably have to go with the Stalker Mando helmet. Yeah.
It's a pretty good helmet. Still like Ahsoka Clone Wars helmet more.
Actually, I could probably bring out the miniature I have of it.
Yeah, you probably could. You want to go grab it?
Yeah, I'll go grab it real quick.
I'll entertain you guys.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm going to be left alone. Leave me some questions so I can talk.
Oh, you got questions? You got a ton of questions over here.
Okay, cool.
Oh, Alex! Alex!
Hi, Alex!
So one of my really good friends from... I used to live in South Florida, and Alex is one of my best friends, and we met when we were volunteering on a farm together. And here he is.
I play Animal Crossing with him and his wife.
So real quick, I'm going to go grab the helmet.
I'm going to look for another question. Let's see. Hi. I'm all by myself now. Here we go. Let's do this. This one. Hi, Gabe. Opinion on pineapple on pizza. I love pineapple on pizza. It is my favorite topping on pizza. I get just pineapple, cheese, and sauce quite often. Dave even knows it's my favorite. So yeah. I also like grilled chicken on pizza. I like banana peppers on pizza. All the good stuff on pizza. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Any other questions? Hey, what's your favorite topping on a pizza?
What's my favorite topping on a pizza?
Yeah, I clicked one. Look, I did it. Gabe asked what was our favorite opinion on pineapple on pizza. Pineapple is my favorite.
It's a win.
Always.
Absolutely a win.
100%.
So real quick, got two things to show you. Number one, so in terms of helmets, I typically print out like miniatures before I spend like 7 days printing out the basis for like the full helmet, because that's a lot of work. And then I got to put fiberglass in it and do a whole bunch of resin on there. So it's a lot easier to see how it's going to look, how the paint's going to look on it, how it reacts with the resin, things like that. And so I always print out miniatures. And here's an example of one. This is the Lone Wolf Customs miniature helmet, or a miniature like 30% version. So this was one thing that I was playing around with here. It's 3D printed. And then when I blow it up to scale, I put fiberglass on the inside. I deck it all out so that it's nice and, sturdy. But this is the Mandalorian Stalker helmet here.
That's super cool.
Trying to get a good angle. There we go.
There you go.
So this is what my full helmet's going to look like.
And we've successfully made a full-size helmet because
Yep.
I have 3 brothers, and we made the oldest of the 3 a Mandalorian helmet with the fiberglass in it, painted it up, and gave it to him for Christmas. So I need that PNP hoodie. Goes to PNP merch. Yeah, this is the most comfortable hoodie I've ever put on. It's which one is this? This is a thin one.
That's the long sleeve hoodie.
Yeah, so it's like thinner. I'm pretty sure I wear it almost every day. No shame. I do wear it every day. No shame. I've washed it. It's okay.
Yes, Anthony, I am going for the Mando Mercs. That's the dream. That's the dream. I actually have a shirt from them that I refuse to wear until I actually make it in. So I'm working on it. I think we had one more. Did I miss one?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
That was it. Look, you're so cool because you got the cool helmets. He also printed out his gauntlets.
Yeah, I have my Mando gauntlets.
Yeah, and then you've used that red material to like make
the Sentra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make the actual armor. And then you've made the underneath stuff with the grommets and things.
That's where we got my whole Frankie homemaker joke, where because I know how to sew now, because I had to learn how to sew to make my vest and get that to actually work, and sew the zippers in and all that sort of stuff. I've become a seamster, and I think you jokingly called me Susie Homemaker at one point, and I was like, "Excuse me, Frankie Homemaker."
I did call you Susie.
Yes, Van Braces.
We have a tough question from the one and only Lauren.
Quick cue. Pam and Jim or Leslie and Ben?
I'm going to go Pam and Jim all the way, just because, and I know this is like an unpopular opinion. Sometimes people like Parks and Rec more than The Office. I loved The Office more than Parks and Rec. I've watched The Office at least like 8 times. Parks and Rec I've watched like 2 or 3 times. I always root for Pam and Jim pre-final season. He hasn't finished, so I can't say what happened, but I love them.
Spoil it for me.
Pre-final season. Final season was like, That's how I feel about the final season. It's fine. I like the final episode. It's a great episode.
I'm
What about you? Pam, Jim, or Leslie, Ben?
I watch it for Pam and Jim. Pam and Jim keep me coming back.
So there you have it. That was a tough one because they both have qualities.
Adam and I are on the same page.
Yeah,
they're the classics.
They are. But Leslie and Ben are so sweet, and I love them. So they're a great couple too. Don't get me wrong. But Pam and Jim.
Pam and Jim, though.
I love Pam and Jim. You just watched the episode where Pam twists her ankle. And then you get this silent, like, hugging, and they're pregnant, and it's so cute. That's one of my favorite episodes, when they find out Pam's pregnant.
Sure.
Okay. I agree, Adam. It had lots of weird tension, unnecessary tension that was like, yeah, here we go. Unnecessary tension. But that last episode just rounded it out so well for me. I can skip that whole season and just watch that last episode and be completely content. Yeah, he hasn't seen it yet.
Anne-Marie agrees with you, I believe.
Hi, Anne-Marie. How you doing? Can I come sell some peaches tonight on Animal Crossing?
You are obsessed with that game. Okay.
Oh, I might not make it because the shops will be closed. Can I come visit Animal Crossing? Just hang out.
So I think I just want to talk about for a second how you didn't know it was not raining today because you were playing.
I knew it wasn't raining.
You were playing Animal Crossing and it was raining in the game, yes. So you thought it was raining outside, okay. And then it was a sunshiny day.
Okay, but in my defense, it's super windy and I had my window closed, so it just kind of fit. Moving on. I want to answer this question. This is the one I want to answer.
Okay.
David.
We were as we were watching Revenge of the Sith, every time Padme came up, we would take a moment and say her line as Alexis would.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
It was so good. Yes.
That was fun.
You have a question.
Oh. Oh, Gabe. Just so many, you know. Oh.
He doesn't have a favorite episode yet.
I don't have a favorite episode yet.
He hasn't gotten to the parts where he hasn't gotten to the ones that are my personal favorite episodes. Not saying that would mean his favorite episodes, but the seasons with my favorite episodes in them are really good seasons.
I don't really have favorite episodes. Like it's just moments that I like, and I'm like, oh, that one hit home for me.
Yeah, like which ones? Just one off the top of your head.
Surprisingly, the first one that comes to my head is something that Dwight did recently, even though I do not like Dwight very much.
I love Dwight. I have a Shroot's Farm hoodie.
I think it was I think it might have been during the picnic when he was trying to help out and he like kicks the ball. He's like, here, I'll take and he kicks it. I'll get it.
I get it. How many people have to get hurt for us to realize what's going on? 1, 2, 3. Okay, Dwight, hear me out. Let me finish. 4, 5. I love that episode so much. Oh, man. Adam, I don't remember which season that's in. I don't know if he's seen that yet, but I agree 100%. Dwight's concussion is probably by far one of the best Dwight episodes ever. And Lauren says David is her favorite as well. He's the best on Schitt's Creek. He is the best. I'm jumping around, but I'm excited. And I'm hyper. It's my coffee time. So
This is when you get like your first wind.
Oh yeah.
And then you'll get your second wind around like 11, and then again at like 1.
Yes. Because usually this is about the time I'm like getting home from work. So I'm like hyped up. I'm hungry. I'm not hungry right now. My eat schedule is weird because I'm eating like a normal human being. But yeah, the Florida episodes are some of my favorites. Yes, Lauren, those are also really good. The Sabre episodes. I love the Sabre episodes. He hasn't got to Sabre yet. It's fine.
Not quite yet.
Eat glass. But we say that all the time to each other, and it's funny. I think we're on the phone with each other one day, and we were going back and forth saying, eat glass. And my mom looked at me and said, don't say that to David.
Oh my God, David.
It's like, we're quoting, it's fine.
Like every time we hear somebody like say, like in contemplation,
yeah,
we immediately just go, eat glass.
Or like when one of us is trying to figure out what dinner is and we go, the other will jump in and say, eat glass. It's great.
Oh, man. So real quick, you want to talk about the Mandalorian documentary real quick?
I would love to.
Yeah, so we watched the first episode of the Mandalorian documentary today. Didn't get to it on May the 4th or Revenge of the 5th. But we got to it today right before we dove into Revenge of the Sith. And Liv, what did you think?
More Baby Yoda, the better.
Every time Baby Yoda would pop up on the screen, I would just hear like this squeal of joy right next to me. Just go.
So I love documentaries. I love learning about behind the scenes. But I'm just tell you right now, I am here solely for Baby Yoda. That is the only reason I'm watching this documentary. That's it. Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda. I love Baby Yoda. My reaction, okay, can I just tell you guys, because we watched the first episode of The Mandalorian together.
We did.
And we were super excited. We made a whole date night out of it. Neither one of us knowing there's going to be a Baby Yoda. And Mando sees Baby Yoda for the first time. I literally grab Dave's hand and go, and I got so excited and squeezed his hand. I was like the most thrilled person. It was like I saw Santa Claus for the first time. Baby Yoda. What did you think of the documentary?
I loved it. When we were on the Galactic Podcast, we kind of talked about like what we were psyched for with the Mando doc. And I mentioned this TV show that Jon Favreau did back in the early 2000s called Dinner for Five. And it's where he got together with all these different directors, actors, things like that. And they would just talk shop and talk about their process and their passion behind filmmaking and all of this other really cool behind the scenes stuff. And you would get these anecdotes. And that is almost exactly what we got with this, except for we actually would get to see those play out. And we would actually get to see, like, in the scene, like, when they're talking about those things, like, we would jump over and see, like, oh, Bryce Dallas Howard is talking about this one thing. And then you'd actually see her on set. And one thing that I thought was really interesting was that in the documentary, they showed them on set together. Like, all of the directors were on set together at the same time. Like, the entire thing was like this collaborative process. And I just thought that was so cool because they say in the documentary that, like, Star Wars is all about family. And you really get this sort of familial relationship feel between these directors, these creative geniuses behind so many great films and the Mandalorian documentary. And I thought that was just so cool. And, you know, it felt like I drew breath and exhaled, and then the entire thing was over. The first episode just blew by for me. I
really appreciated that they went down the list of the directors and kind of showcased which ones did which episodes and kind of played up on that a little bit. because I'm not usually the type of person who knows who the director is or like who does what and all of that information. So it was really cool to kind of get a face to an episode.
Absolutely.
What are you reaching for?
Just want to give a shout out to where are we? There we go. Alberto. There we are.
Hi.
Hey, Alberto from Radio Rebellion Pod. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Hello. That's okay.
No worries. Stay as long as you like.
It's all good.
Thank you so much for coming by. Really appreciate your support, man. But yeah, the Mando doc, the first episode got me really fired up to see even more because, you know, these creators and the stories that they told were just great. And I saw up here, yeah, Dave Filoni's story about his interview with Lucasfilm. Like, that was absolutely outstanding.
The guys from SpongeBob.
You're the guys from SpongeBob?
I was like, that's
so Who put you up to this?
That's so funny. Oh my god.
It was awesome.
Still got the job. Like,
I mean, everybody on there is just such a class act and has such a passion for the franchise. Like, it's no wonder that, like, Mandalorian is so good and, you know, Clone Wars was so good. Like, everything these creators put out is a love letter, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful to watch that kind of come together. And that's what I loved. Like, I love seeing the behind the scenes and like, oh, how does this work? And the parallax technology and all that really, really cool stuff behind the filmmaking, the art of it.
Yeah.
But for me, like, the really engaging part and the part that really drew me in was seeing their passion and their love for this franchise.
It was Baby Yoda.
It was just Baby Yoda.
I love Baby Yoda. I also really enjoyed the fact that this documentary didn't necessarily feel like a documentary. It felt like we were sitting down at the table, like a panel at Dragon Con or any kind of con you go to. It was more engaging opposed to, let's just show you this. Let's just show you this. Like, I really enjoyed that. It kept my attention because sometimes I lose attention and can't sit still. That's why I have the spinny chair.
That's why she has the spinny chair.
I can't sit still.
And you were talking about panels, and I was reminded of the voice actor for Space Ghost panel that we went to.
Oy. Most uncomfortable thing I've ever sat through. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go.
It was a long hour.
It was a very long hour. I almost fell asleep. I think you noticed.
Well, so
I also don't get up early.
For some context, we both live in the Atlanta area, and Dragon Con is in Atlanta. So it's probably about a 20-minute drive to the MARTA station, which is just a train station that'll take you into the city. And we had to wake up early for her, and
like early for me,
and bebop down into the heart of Atlanta to Dragon Con, and then had to go sit through this struggle panel, or not even. It wasn't even really a panel. It was just like a Q&A.
He tried stand up.
It was stand up.
It was awful stand up, but that was like the first thing we did is we went straight to this panel, and I'm like, I have not had enough coffee for this. Almost left, but it's okay. I was fine. It was over eventually. We had a question.
We did, and I think
it was.
Adam's got to be a bop on out of here. Adam, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks,
really
Adam.
Appreciate you. Where was the question?
It was our good pal Anthony. Right there.
There we go.
You go first.
No pressure. So Anthony asked us, what's your favorite starship? Not Starfighter. Let's be clear. Capital ship? Dave? Blockade Runner. Tantive 4. Just quintessential. Love it. I mean, I see that ship as like the foundation of the rebellion. I just think it's so cool. It has that nostalgic pull for me, I think.
Death Star 2.0.
Death Star 2.0.
Not the first one, the second one.
That's okay.
Does that count?
I don't know. Is that?
I'm gonna say it counts.
It's a space station. One thing we know it's not. It's no
counts.
moon.
It's not a moon. It counts. It's gonna be my answer because I don't think I can think of a name right now off the top of my head. I don't remember the names of the ships. I feel bad. I also have a hard time saying actors' names and characters' names. I leave that to Dave.
Farm Boy, would you consider the LAATs to be starfighters? Or, I mean, I consider those like transport ships, I guess. Yeah. I mean, those are pretty dope too. But yeah, the Invisible Hand is also a really, really cool ship as well. And I can't remember the name of it, but in the invisible ship, the one that has the cloaking technology in it, I can't remember what the name of it is.
That one's pretty cool.
That one is really cool too.
That one's pretty dope.
The one that almost takes out the Invisible Hand.
Yeah. We have another question.
This guy here.
Mm-hmm.
So Michael from TubeMed2, shout out TubeMed2. Go check out the YouTubes. Favorite cartoon in general.
Okay, I have a list.
You have a list?
Yes.
Okay.
So I loved growing up Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I don't know if anyone else ever watched this show. Me and my brother watched this all the time. It was Code Lyoko. It was, I think it was on Nickelodeon. Might have been Cartoon Network. But we were obsessed with that show. We loved Code Lyoko.
I've never even heard of this.
It was so good. We would watch that for hours. It was so good. What's another cartoon that I like? I'm thinking.
Do you want me to start listing off some? Because I feel like you and I like a lot of the same things.
Yeah, probably the same things.
Batman, the animated series.
I knew you were going to say that, so I didn't say it.
Batman Beyond.
Okay, yeah. Family Guy. That's one of my favorites. No shame.
I mean, I'm kind of taking Clone Wars out of the equation because right now, like, that's by far one of, like,
that one was good.
Clone Wars is up there with like Batman the animated series for me right now.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, it has that kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just art.
Yeah.
Art.
I think that makes a good cartoon. It's artsy. I also like Jimmy Neutron. Like, I'm just gonna go down that list. And Fairly Odd Parents. Like, I loved the old seasons, like the old school ones, not what they've turned it into.
Tara Strong.
Yeah, like I loved those, and I enjoyed watching this. I wasn't a big SpongeBob person, but I did watch the first couple seasons of SpongeBob, and then it went weird.
I wouldn't call it a cartoon, but I love me some Neon Genesis Evangelion.
I think that's a cartoon. It's an anime cartoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah. I love me some NGE, even though it is about as depressing as you can get, but it's amazing. I love it so much. It's they have like these cutscenes where this little like 14-year-old boy and like you hear this voice inside of his head just go, "Nobody loves you."
Aww.
It's so depressing, but it's so good. It's so good.
Oh, I also liked The Proud Family on Disney Channel.
Oh, The Prouds.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked that cartoon. That was a good cartoon. That was fun.
Alex asks thoughts on Archer. Missed the last couple seasons.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The only episodes of Archer I've ever seen was at your house, and I was almost asleep. I'm sorry. Don't hate me. I don't know. I've never really watched it aside from that one night.
I loved Archer up until like a few seasons ago. And then I kind of fell out of favor for me a little bit. And just haven't gotten much into it as of late, I guess. But the early seasons are just amazing. I love the first few seasons of Archer. Like, it's comedy gold. It's really, really funny. It's like Bond. It's basically Bond. No, you're not missing much, Alex. Lauren's recommending the new Voltron on Netflix. I watched a little bit of the old Voltron back in the day. Thundercats.
Okay, yeah.
Thundercats, absolutely.
Cool. Have to check it out.
Thundercats was dope.
Voltron, I've seen Thundercats.
So, got a little bit more news for you guys. A little bit more. I'm sure y'all probably seen this already, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
What are we talking about?
Huh?
What is it?
About The Mandalorian Season 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we got some more directors coming in. We got Robert Rodriguez and Peyton Reed. Robert Rodriguez, who did Alita, Sin City, El Mariachi, and Grindhouse, which... so stoked for Robert Rodriguez to come in and see what his hand does in this universe, because I love Alita.
I liked Alita.
Alita is absolutely such a... I feel like that's a very underrated flick from last year.
It was very good. You said that would be a good cosplay for me to do.
It would. You got the hair, you've got the look for it. You would nail it.
Rollerblade. It's fine.
Get those gorgeous anime eyes.
I do have big eyes. They're huge. And big teeth.
Stop it.
I do. I have big teeth. Anyway, Mando Season 2.
Yes.
More Baby Yoda.
More Baby Yoda.
All I care about.
And we've also got director Peyton Reed coming in, who did Ant-Man, the first one, and the sequel. And, of course, Bring It On.
I never saw Bring It On.
You never saw Bring It On?
No, it's a cheer movie.
I thought that would have been right up your alley.
No. Not the same. Not the same.
Do you like Clueless? I mean, it's not a cheer movie, but it kind of has that same, like, Valley Girl type feel to it.
I've never seen Clueless. I like 10 Things I Hate About You.
I know.
I like that movie. I've watched it 3 times on Disney Plus.
And you like Mean Girls.
I love Mean Girls.
Y'all, so fun fact, we recorded an episode of us reviewing Mean Girls.
It's so fetch.
So fetch. We try to make fetch happen, and it's coming to a playlist near you at some point.
Eventually.
That's the thing about this whole like quarantine period, is we've had so much more time to record now.
We have a stockpile. It's fine. It's fine. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
And yes, definitely my top 10 favorite movies, 10 Things I Hate About You. No pun intended.
Real quick follow up to...
Sorry, Laura.
Real quick follow up to John here. John's from Nerd Herder. They have another great podcast up there. Go check them out. Thanks for joining us, John. Really appreciate you. Yeah, I guess Liv has not seen Clueless.
I'm sorry. Now I'm going to go watch it tonight. Don't worry. After I play Animal Crossing, I will put away Chrono Mines for a night and watch Clueless. Because it's on Disney Plus, I think.
It's on something.
It's on one of the streaming services. I have it on my TV.
Clueless is like one of those movies that's in like this trifecta of, for lack of a better term, like chick flicks, I guess. I mean, it's not like a chick flick, but it's just good. I love me some Clueless.
Right.
It's like that. 10 Things I Hate About You, Mean Girls.
Love that one.
Love them.
Easy A. Love that movie.
Oh, yeah. Easy A is a really good recent one.
She's the Man. Love that movie. What's in our stockpile?
What's in our stockpile?
More Harry Potter.
We have 2 more Harry Potter episodes coming out.
Yep. Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Next week we're actually going to switch things up, and we did a review of The Killing Joke.
Yep. That was good.
Hopped into the Batman universe, so we did not only the Killing Joke comic book, that's what most of it's about, but we do a comparison with the movie that we got in 2016 as well. So we've got that, and
cool. I'm not the only one who hasn't seen Clueless, by the way.
Hey, it's okay. You are not alone. John is with you.
John's with me. It's great. Anyway,
It's
sorry.
We actually have 2 more Clone Wars episodes too.
Yes.
We did a recap of the young Yoda arc, or not the young Yoda arc, the Yoda arc.
Yep.
And we also did the Crystal Crisis on Utapau, the unfinished episodes that are in story reel form, which that was actually, I'm surprised how much I'm not surprised, but I'm really glad that we actually took the time to do a deep dive on that arc in particular, because I feel like what we got out of those story reels it played in really well with what we saw into season 7.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I said this in the podcast, but I listened to it the first time because Lauren's comment, sorry. Because the animation's not finished, it was a little distracting for me, especially the gaping holes in their necks, but that's fine. The second time it was a little bit easier for me to visually watch, but it was really good, and I think it did a great job kind of leading us into season 7.
Yes, absolutely.
It was good.
What I really liked is it did a lot more exploration of because in the Lost missions, we don't really get a lot of emotional exploration, the repercussions of Ahsoka. What happened with Ahsoka.
Peacing out.
Yeah, peaced out. And
Felicia.
We all know that had a significant impact on Anakin.
Yeah.
But we also kind of get a feel for how Obi-Wan felt about that.
Yeah, and I think that really takes us into a more understanding perspective for the last arc. Like Obi-Wan has a lot of reservations in general because, he was affected too. And this arc, the Crystal Crisis arc, was amazing in bridging that gap. My chair is kind of squeaky. I like it. I keep rolling backwards. Sorry.
Oh, thanks, Anthony. You're the best. Thanks,
Oh, thanks. What's that?
RFB, you're just such a consistent supporter and a staple in this community. Thank you so much. You're just brief shout out to you. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
What other episodes have we done recently?
I
feel like there was one more random one that we did.
We probably did another quarantine cast. Those are funny. I don't remember. We're looking. He has them all backed up.
I do.
There we go.
No,
that's pretty much our stockpile.
That's our stockpile right now.
Yeah, and we'll probably, week by week, we'll probably pick a couple of those to send out and let you guys listen to. But Lauren, I have to agree with you. Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club, and 16 Candles, some of the best 80s movies ever. Breakfast Slug. Breakfast Slug.
Breakfast Slug. Love me a good Breakfast Slug.
Oh, ew. The Breakfast Club being probably one of my favorites. of the three. I could watch that movie over and over again. I do love good 80s movies.
Oh, for sure.
There's some great ones out there. So those are definitely some of the top movies, though. Especially if you're looking at like chick flicks. Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles. Masterpieces.
Ferris Bueller was one of those movies that I watched like countless times as a kid. I loved that movie.
I think I watched it every time because, I was homeschooled. So playing hooky was like almost impossible because you live at your school. But anytime we like played hooky or we didn't feel well and we were kind of sick, my dad would put Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So that's got a really deep connection with my heart. I also just love Ferris Bueller.
He's a righteous dude.
It's great.
Yes, agreed, John. Yeah, so the story reels, they used to be posted up on StarWars.com. Like all of them used to be up on StarWars.com, but they didn't get some of them got actually taken down, but someone's out there doing the Lord's work and posted them all up on YouTube.
Doing the Lord's work. Right
the Lord's work.
Doing it.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Can I get a witness?
Amen. Oh, my heavens.
But they were... I'm glad that it still exists in some capacity. Like we're actually able to still see all of them somewhere and they haven't been taken down.
It's been nice getting to watch those. The Lord's work.
RFB.
It's the real deal.
Real deal.
The real deal.
The realest of real deals.
And let me just say, getting to meet you the other night, fangirled so hard.
We got off that video and she must have talked about you for a good 5 minutes after, like, we met Ross Sandbridge. And one of the first things she starts talking about is like, he literally tips his hat to me.
I was so excited. Oh man, I try to keep my composure as much as humanly possible. But it's near impossible sometimes. I'm a hardcore nerd. And I nerd out.
That's what I love about you.
So, what else do we want to talk about? Ask questions. We will answer them.
Yes. We'd love... Thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah. It's fun.
I think we're probably going to try to wrap up here in about 10 minutes or so.
I mean...
It's getting close to my bedtime. I'm like 85 years old, and
it's your bedtime.
So, I guess we can real quick wrap up with some of the other things that we're going to be up to in the coming weeks, months.
Yeah. We're getting married.
Yeah, we're getting married.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah,
it's 147 days. 6 days.
It's 140 something days. I have a spreadsheet for it.
Yeah. We're getting married. Pretty excited. I'm getting a lot of people making jokes about we should just get married now.
Yeah.
A lot of people like, no one would hold it against you if you just got married now. Like, we want a wedding.
Yeah, we want a wedding so that we can just celebrate with people.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing that we're trying to get out of the wedding. Like, yeah, we got that whole legal business that we got to get taken care of. We needed somebody, like a holy man, to sign a piece of paper for us. But
my dad did say that technically, like, marriage is not about the courts. It's about being in front of the Lord. And he said, as long as you got a priest, he doesn't care. We're married.
The Lord is everywhere.
That's what I told him. So
he
technically,
sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake.
Okay, Santa. He said we'd get married like tomorrow by a priest and we'd be good to go. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm excited about our wedding. Getting that, things are slowly opening up so we can actually like start progressing again in plans and all of that stuff, as far as like getting married. I'm excited for the summer. I have summer intensives. Again, dance teacher.
Real quick on wedding, can we show off what we have planned for our wedding? Like the design?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
So
as long as I can show this off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I have to show Lauren this.
So
it's important.
One of the ideas that we had for our wedding was to, how like you get basically wedding favors, party favors at the wedding. And we were trying to figure out, what do we do for that? And I was getting deep into prop making and prop building and costume making last year, doing resin casts and silicone molds and things like that. And I'm like,
from your accidentally bought 3D printer. He accidentally bought a 3D printer.
So
Lauren said goes to get ordained to do wedding now.
Yes, universallifechurch.com.
How cool would that be? Anyway.
So we tried to come up with something fun that we could do for that combines something that we could make ourselves, something that'd be special that would be just ours. So I got into 3D modeling and tried to come up with a design for it, and we came up with this guy here.
Yeah. Put your hand behind it like a YouTuber.
Like
a YouTuber.
Like Triceratops.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Here, hold it. Back some.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, sort of. I don't know. It's a cool medallion.
So yeah, this is the 3D mold that we're gonna be doing, and gonna end up making probably about 100 resin casts of it, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Lauren, I have to show you something that Dave surprised me with because it's amazing. Oh, now I'm gonna mess this up. It's Baby Yoda with a Mando helmet. Literally brought him around everywhere the day he showed it to me. Like I think we went into a Japanese restaurant, had sushi, and he sat at the table with
she
us.
put it on the table.
He was at the table with us. He came to Thanksgiving dinner with us.
He did.
That
was one of his debuts. His big debut was at the Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, because we went to Cracker Barrel for Thanksgiving this year, and he sat with me at the dinner. That was also the first time people had seen us since the engagement. So, anyway, fun things. So, wedding, the medallion's gonna be super exciting, and yeah.
So we have somebody out here. Hector asked us to give a shout out to Annie. She's almost 24 years old. And so at this point, big shout out to Annie.
Big shout out, Annie. Hi, Annie.
Hi, Annie.
How's it going?
Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you.
You're awesome.
And yes, Yiddle is the best.
Yes. No comparison. No competition. It is the way.
It is the way.
It's the way.
Sorry, continue. I wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, so wedding stuff. I'm excited to get married. We talk about it all the time. No. I'm just telling them that I'm excited.
I was like, I wish you would tell me that at some point.
I tell you that every day. I can't wait to get married. I always wondered what my other half would look like, act like, sound like. And
she got this.
I have spoken. And he's by far we call him yogurt. He surpasses everything I ever could have expected out of a future husband and partner. So it's super exciting to continue a life together as one.
We make a good team.
We do make a good team. We're pretty awesome. And it'll be nice to not have to drive home every night. That's like boring. I don't look forward to leaving because it's boring. Like the drive just boring. It's not that far, but it's just boring. It's okay. It's been a lot better because I have a lot more podcasts in my queue. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts on my way home, being y'all's. Not gonna lie, I listen to y'all's podcasts. So it's not as boring anymore because I have you guys' stuff to listen to. It's pretty great.
It's like we have friends around us all the time.
All the time.
It's great.
It's fantastic. Dragon Con. Hopefully that doesn't get canceled.
Hopefully.
I would really love for that to not get canceled. I'm excited for that. Aw, you're so cute. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
We are kind of cute.
A
Kind of
little
gross. It's a little gross. It's fine. But yeah, I'm most excited about our wedding and summer intensives. And I'm getting certified into modern techniques, so that's pretty exciting too. For those of you who aren't dancers. Modern is like ballet, and there's different like techniques you can learn, different syllabi you can get certified in. And I'm getting certified in one of them this summer. So, and there's in the Atlanta area, there are very, very few. And in the particular area that Dave and I live in, there aren't any that teach the style that I'm getting certified in. So, yeah. Yes, let's please hang. Please and thank you. Please and thank you.
Yes. We will absolutely come hang.
Look for the shirts. We'll find you.
Look for...
Yeah. I almost knocked something over.
You okay?
No.
You gonna make it?
Nope. I'm just gonna sip my Coke Zero and try to be still. Impossible.
But yeah, recently though, Dragon Con, they canceled the parade. So
We don't really go to the parade anyways.
But here's the deal. If I make it into the Mercs, then I'll be in the parade.
Then I'll watch the parade.
Because that's like the dream, is for me to be in the parade. I'll be the
from the hotel room. I don't like crowds. It stress me.
You like Dragon Con?
I love Dragon Con, but then I
it's
sneak
like
away
one of the most crowded events.
Oh, I know, but then I sneak away like once an hour just to sit in the bathroom stall and take a couple deep breaths and neutralize myself for a minute. That's why I use the restroom so often. It's because I just need a moment of peace.
You know, that's why I really like. So, in case you guys are just joining us, we're talking about Dragon Con. It's in Atlanta.
Yep.
And we live south of Atlanta, and we take the train up there. We drive up to the MARTA station and drive into the heart of Atlanta.
Yep.
But this year, we actually ended up getting a hotel room up there so that we can stay close to it.
Yep.
And that's going to be awesome because we're going to be able to just, take a break and chill. And then recover from that, and then venture back out into the madness
and go to the parties,
which will be really nice because we've had to bebop on out of there at like 5 usually.
Yeah,
we usually are there from like maybe 10 to 5.
Yeah,
around that time frame, and it'd be really nice to actually get to see the nightlife around Dragon Con because if
it'd be nice to not have to get up early in the morning too.
early. Like 9 is early.
That is early. John, yes, we do live in Georgia.
We're about 30 minutes south of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we live in a small town.
Small town, quiet town.
Not so quiet anymore, but it's okay.
It's still quiet.
Not during filming time.
Oh yeah.
Not where I live. It's not quiet. It used to be quiet. Now it's not quiet anymore.
Do you want to tell them what gets filmed there?
Yeah, I live in the town where The Walking Dead gets filmed. They also filmed Driving Miss Daisy and Drop Dead Diva and Steel Magnolias. No, yes, and Fried Green Tomatoes in my town.
And then where I live, they actually filmed one of the new Marvel shows.
Yeah. And Zombieland. And Zombieland 2.
And Zombieland was filmed in my town as well.
And Jumanji.
Jumanji, that's right. I
That
forgot
was
about
filmed.
Jumanji.
Yeah, you're where you live, the square. They do all that.
Yeah, so I live in the Noonan area, Noonan,
that's
Georgia.
cool. Yeah, I live in the Sonoya area. He lives in Augusta. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Alex has a brilliant idea.
Yes, the answer is yes. No questions asked. Yes, yes, yes. Ray needs to be Baby Yoda.
That would be awesome.
No
Would
question.
absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully we find out what's going on at these conventions soon, or like we definitely so the thing is for us, like we our wedding is a few weeks after Dragon Con.
We did that on purpose.
We did do that on purpose.
We planned our wedding around Dragon Con.
When we were picking out a wedding date, we were like, okay, we want to do the fall.
Yep.
But we can't do it around Dragon Con.
Yeah. It had to be before or after Dragon Con.
Yes.
So we picked after. Even though people would love for us to get married this month because of the irony of it.
Yes.
That is all.
But as like now the concern that we have is like, if we do go to Dragon Con and we somehow get it, but we're asymptomatic.
I mean, might have already had it.
I'm just saying, we gotta make sure we're playing it safe because we have people in both of our families that are kind of, the health isn't the best, or they're immunocompromised.
Yeah, our big concern is a lot of our family members, and because one of the things and one of the big reasons, like we were saying earlier, of why we're not getting married sooner is because we really want this to be a big celebration. Just in general, I love to dance. Dave's a fantastic professional dancer, so we want to have a huge dance party. You like how I did that? I'm funny. We want to have the joy of getting together with our friends and family and dancing it out, hanging out, and having a grand old time. And we don't want to compromise our family in that. So just being cautious. And when we get more details about Dragon Con and where COVID's going, we sit down and we make game plans. We have backup plans and plans for how this could all go about in September.
Yes.
Either way, we're getting married, so it's fine.
And it's going to be metal. Thank you, Lauren, for your support and listening to our most recent episode. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank
Lauren.
you.
Hi, GJ. How you doing?
Hey, Gage.
Look.
Hey, Gage.
I got a bone to pick with you, GJ. We're gonna need to talk soon. You know what you did. Birds of Prey was amazing. Can't tell me otherwise. I'm just kidding. Love you.
You should have heard what he said about Animal Crossing. No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Hey.
No.
Hey.
It's not gonna.
Come on.
Not gonna happen. There we go.
GJ?
Put it aside.
Does that, Alex, you will also Venmo me $50? This is $100 we're talking about. I will give you 50% of that.
That's so generous of you.
I'm kidding.
Feeling charitable today, aren't we?
That was just really funny. I had to share that with the world.
Yes, John, we would absolutely love to hang out with you guys.
Please and thank you.
Kindly leave, GJ. So, for those of you in the chat, for some context, GJ is another one of my best friends. I've known him since college. We ran track and cross country together. We go way back.
I love GJ, so it's okay. Healthy banter. It's fine.
That
was amazing.
But yeah. Kindly leave, Gigi. That was funny. That was good.
Good job, Lauren.
So something that we kind of wanted to close up with, I think it'd be good to close out with a little bit of gratitude.
Yeah.
And then one thing that we wanted to do is, in honor of our first live stream, we actually got some stickers made. Some new stickers made.
These are new stickers.
Pizza and Parsecs. And we wanted to make sure that all of you guys that joined us today got one. So as a sign of our gratitude, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you. This is so much fun for us. We love doing this podcast together. We love nerding out together. We love nerding out with you guys. And we just really appreciate you. So if you could just hit us up in the DMs, slide up into our DMs.
Yeah.
Let us know where we can send you some stickers.
I'd love to send you some.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. GJ. So GJ and I actually also do another podcast called The Drift Space. It's another geek and nerd podcast where we basically talk about things that you and I don't talk about, like Star Trek and Dragon Ball Z.
I could go in insults so hard right now and get back at GJ. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
You should hear what he has to say about Animal Crossing.
So y'all podcast about the boring stuff like Godzilla and
the boring stuff like Godzilla. No, so actually
I'm so proud of myself. GJ, love you. You know that. Don't come for my Animal Crossing. I'll come for Godzilla.
Anyway. But yeah, real quick, ending it all with a little bit of gratitude. I am grateful for this podcast. I'm grateful for the opportunity that these franchises and properties give us to, have these absurd conversations about. And it's just so much fun. And I really appreciate the community out there. And I appreciate you, Liv. I'm grateful for you because you make this app. I mean, there is no this without you.
Aw, same. And I think it's really cool. I was talking to somebody today about how I'm ignoring you, GJ. I'm just going to ignore you. We started this podcast as like just something fun to do. We never expected for this to come about as like a community and to be connected with some amazing people. We really, really appreciate it. And yeah, it is a fun community, and it's really, really awesome to just kind of get to know you guys and come on here and chat with you guys. I'm really excited for when we have some of you guys on here, we can chat with you all together. That would be super exciting. But I'm really grateful for you guys. And I'm grateful for Dave, of course, and all the support. Since you plugged your other podcast, should I plug mine?
Okay.
I also have another podcast. So while Dave and I have Pizza and Parsecs, and then you have the Drift Space with your friends, I have another podcast with my friends. Some of you guys might have seen a lot of retweets throughout this week for Star Wars stuff being called to the table. It's a kind of a goofy faith-based podcast where we kind of dive deep into different topics, and we have nerdy stuff, we have theological stuff, we have book reviews, we do all these really cool stuff and kind of see where the Lord fits into all that. And that's pretty cool. It's cool to have two ends of the spectrum, in my opinion, as far as podcasting goes.
Yeah.
Talking about nerdy stuff and then talking about other things that I enjoy.
Yeah, it's a really solid balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I would also like to say, Lauren said, let the hate flow through me. I knew I was the villain. I told you I was the villain. I am a Sith.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
I'm weird. Problems.
Shameless plugs. Shout out to Tumet too, once again, for having us on his show this week. Really appreciate you. So there's a shameless plug for you, Michael.
Yeah, and shout out to the Galactic Podcast for having us on their podcast last week.
Absolutely, and Certain Point of View as well. They were on here. Great pod, and of course, Pizza and Parsecs. Come check us out. We're on bit.ly/Pizza and Parsecs pod on all your favorite podcasting platforms, and check us out on the socials at Pizza and Parsecs. Facebook, your Twitters, your Instagrams. And yeah.
And if you want any of this cool merch, where can they get it? We plugged it today.
I will be posting links tomorrow for it.
Tomorrow.
So also
this color.
That color. The Siege of Mandalore variant.
There's lots of fun stuff and stickers.
We got stickers too.
Cool stuff.
But yeah, we're probably going to also make something with the live streaming logo that we have with Ventress's saber and the Elder Wand as well, because I really had a good time building that out, and I think it looks pretty dope.
I can't wait to get that on something. I'm excited.
So once again, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you, and look forward to continuing this discussion offline.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good night.
Bye, guys. Good night.